Hey, everybody, it's Luke Robinson with Locked On Bama. I wanted to go over a few things that Jimmy and I weren't able to get to in the previous podcast because maybe they hadn't happened yet. First of all, I want to thank eBay Motors for sponsoring Locked On Bama. And you can go check out eBay Motors or FanDuel right there. You can check out eBay Motors at ebaymotors.com, and I'll talk about them here in just a minute. But Jimmy's not with me today. Obviously, this is just going to be a very quick sort of overview of some things that have gone on the last 24 hours. First of all, I'm always a big fan of NFL preseason football, especially now that Alabama has so many players in it. But it always seems to disappoint me. It's just never as good of a game as you want it to be. It's always just a bunch of guys fighting for spots, and a lot of starters don't play, but that's okay. I enjoyed watching Houston and New England last night. I love the fact that John Metchie was on the field, got him a catch for 5 yards. Metchie with the Catchie. That's going to catch on, we hope, literally. Will Anderson, only one tackle. It was a solo tackle, but it seemed like he was doing pretty well. And I feel like he's still getting a lot of accolades. So positive for him. Mac Jones, of course, did not play. That Anthony Jennings, I thought, looked really good. He got in the backfield one good time that should have been a tackle for a loss. But I think it was Singletary, the running back, made a nice cut and was able to get away from him. The other game didn't have a lot of Bama guys in it, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. Of course, there are more games tonight. And Bryce Young plays tomorrow, I think, at 3 o'clock against the Jets. So, man, that one's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to watch that game. Jimmy and I, of course, will have a report on it. One other thing, or a couple other things I want to talk about that came from ESPN. First of all, college football's top 50 transfers and or freshmen. Of course, Alabama only had 2 on this list out of the top 50. Buckner was not one of them. I was thinking they would put Tyler Buckner in here, but they didn't. And look, I get it because we don't know if he's actually going to be the quarterback. But I thought nationally, some folks may look at it that way. Instead, they put 2 freshmen on this list. And they don't put Malik Benson, by the way, who as junior college transfer, I know, but I'm saying I thought maybe he would be on the list. But they do put Caleb Downs, and this is what they have to say about him. Caleb Downs is a 6 foot, 190-pound recruit out of Georgia. He was the number 1 safety in the 2023 class. He's a talented defensive back who has already garnered hype since enrolling at Alabama. The Crimson Tide lost safeties Brian Branch and Jordan Battle to the NFL, so there are open spots. Downs has every opportunity to see the field early and often this fall, and given his talent level, could become one of Alabama's better players in the secondary. Couldn't agree more. I think it's a nice little blurb. Of course, this is all stuff we knew. And then at number 32, they had Justice Haynes, the running back. This one surprised me a little bit. I mean, no Caden Proctor. I thought it'd be somebody like that, but they're putting Justice Haynes there, even though Jace McClellan and Roydell Williams are there. This is what they have to say about Haynes. He was the number 2 running back in the class behind Richard Young, who also signed with Alabama. Haynes is a 5'11", 200-pound back from Buford, Georgia, and has already caused a stir during the spring, showing versatility in the spring game, 2 touchdowns on the ground and another receiving. Haynes has the talent, and although he still has some competition ahead of him in Jace McClellan, Roydell Williams, he should be able to find reps this season. So again, a nice little write-up and some nice notoriety for Justice Haynes. Some other notes, they have Peter Woods on this list. He's right behind Justice Haynes. I found that interesting. Francis Mauagoa, I think is how you say it, who went to Miami, and also Samson Okunlola, who also went to Miami. Alabama was associated with both of them for a while. Tunmizi Adele, I think that's how you say it, is number 38. He transferred from A&M to Michigan State, and Alabama was in on him when he was being recruited. And then Arian Carter also made this list. For those who remember, he chose Tennessee over Alabama, and I thought he was going to end up at Alabama, frankly, and he ended up going to Tennessee, so Alabama will be facing off against him. Sam Hartman was number 2 on this list, by the way, who left Wake Forest to go to Notre Dame, and then Buckner, of course, subsequently comes from Notre Dame to Alabama. The ESPN also has another interesting article about the 25 players who will factor into the college football playoff this year. Number 23 is Dallas Turner. I thought that was an interesting pick. Bo Nix was number 24, by the way. Brock Bowers was number 21. I think that was very low for him. KJ Jefferson, number 20. Spencer Rattler, number 19. Connor Wiegman, number 18. Are you seeing a trend here? Number 17 is Ja'Cory Brooks. Going down the list a little bit more, I'm trying to, scroll through this thing as we go. Bear Alexander, who transferred from Georgia to USC, is at number 10. Quinn Ewers, who Alabama plays, at number 9. Jaden Daniels, quarterback at LSU, number 8. Wow. I mean, Alabama plays a lot of these dudes. Number 5 is Tyler Buckner, Jalen Milroe, or Ty Simpson. So I found that kind of interesting that they didn't actually pick one. Number 3 is Carson Beck, of course. And then number 1, boy, I wouldn't have picked this, but they are. They're going with Joe Milton III, the number 1 selection here. I just find that quite interesting. Boy, there are a lot of folks out there who have a lot of faith in Joe Milton. And, again, maybe it's well-deserved. Maybe that's something, maybe he should get those kind of accolades. But, boy, I don't know until I see it. I want to tell everybody real quickly before I talk about last couple of things about eBay Motors. For parts that fit, head to eBay Motors and look for the green check. Stay in the game with eBay Guaranteed Fit. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride. eBay Guaranteed Fit. Only available to U.S. customers. Eligible items only. Exclusions do apply. Now I want to talk a little bit about what I saw on the CBS, which is their bowl picks for this year. And, I know it's early, but Jerry Palm, who does a great job, he picks Georgia number 1, Michigan number 2, Bama 3, Ohio State 4. So, I mean, Bama, Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, that would certainly be tough for most national folks to wrap their head around. But I'm here for it. I would love it. It would be Bama and Michigan in the Rose Bowl, according to him, and Georgia, Ohio State in the Sugar Bowl. That would be a ton of fun, both of those games. I just think that would be a great couple of matchups. Alabama playing Michigan again. Nick Saban certainly put one on Jim Harbaugh before, and Alabama beat Michigan pretty good. I think it was in 2012 in Dallas. I was at that game. The other New Year's 6 games they have, USC and Boise State in the Fiesta, Florida State, LSU in the Orange, Clemson, Texas in the Peach Bowl. That game sounds pretty fun. And Penn State, Kansas State in the Cotton Bowl. That does not sound a lot of fun. But regardless, I just like seeing these projections. It's getting so close to the season, so we won't have to deal with this type of stuff much longer. We'll actually have some results on the field. But, of course, we've got a scrimmage tomorrow. Jimmy and I will probably have a podcast right after the scrimmage, we hope, depending on how much information we can get. This one is not open to the public. I don't think Jimmy's going to even be able to go. He usually has some access to these things, but I don't believe he's even going to be able to go to this scrimmage. So we will just have to discern what we can from what is put out there and, of course, some other contacts that we have. But we plan on having a podcast after the scrimmage tomorrow. We hope you join us. We thank you guys so much. I just want to put a little something out there because I thought there's a lot of cool Bama news out there right now. And that's going to do it for this little abbreviated Locked On Bama. Please be sure to hit the subscribe button. And until next time, roll tide, everybody.